Yo, it's the Bootleg Kev podcast. We got a special guest, legendary hip hop journalist, B.Dot. My guy B.Dot from Rap Radar.
What's up, Kev?
How you doing, man?
Look good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. It's crazy because I specifically remember this time last year, you and Elliot ran my dude. I was playing video games in my man cave, watching that Drake interview, and then the Griselda interview followed up. It was like some of the best. It was like a historical month because those were two of the best interviews, especially that Drake interview is like a historical interview. And you guys have a lot of those.
Yeah, man. That was hard to keep a secret. You know, I had to hold that in for like 2 weeks, and we decided to do it on Christmas Day because it's Christmas. So
Yeah,
it was like our gift to y'all. So
it was amazing, man.
thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's hard watching those interviews back because then I'm like, damn, I should have asked this question or I should have framed it this way. So I always cringe when I watch the interviews again, but it seems like everyone enjoyed it. So
I feel like that always happens when you
yeah,
interview someone like that. You're always like, shit.
I forgot to ask this, and then you
Right.
kick yourself all the way back home, like fuck. But it happens. So you catch them next time around.
What was something you had felt that way about with the Drake interview, like that you would wish you would have asked him?
I think I would have asked them more about Nicki Minaj and their relationship,
Mm.
and I think there was something about Cudi I wanted to ask him about, but that was about it. So we'll catch you next time around.
Right, for sure, man. And you guys have been doing a great job throughout the pandemic, like with the title check-ins, and you have your it's the art. What is it? Art of Raps or Artifacts? What is it? I don't
Art of
know.
something. Nah, it's called Artifacts to play on the word artifacts.
Right.
So it's just basically kind of like a hip hop show and tell. I had this idea for a long time. I pitched it to MTV. Me and Nick Cannon actually were partners on it. It was another.
Wow.
It was another name called Junkies, and I just switched the name. And we had pitched it to MTV and Viacom, and things were in motion. But you know how that happens. Things got DOA'd, and I decided to just do it on my own. And so far, so good. I'm enjoying it.
All right, so let's get to this list of yours, man. Well, first of all, you got multiple lists.
Multiple lists. I have lists on lists. I think I'm gonna put out another one too. My best albums today.
I was gonna say, yeah, I got mine. I was gonna share with you. So, well, first of all, this will probably come out if you're gonna release that today.
Yeah.
We could share it on the podcast. It's gonna come out after.
Right.
Let's start with the things we strongly agree upon, and that's Freddie Gibbs. Now, you and I have been a part of the Freddie Gibbs wave for a very long time. The first time I interviewed Fred was in 2009. He's always been one of my favorite rappers in the world, and obviously he had the ESPN. When he was doing his sports column with Rap Radar.
RapRadar.com.
Yeah. And, I think that it's, finally everything's kind of coming around for Fred, as far as just peers respect. And, and mind you, I think in 2014, Pinata was a classic. Last year, Bandana was a classic.
He was my best rapper of last year too.
I agree. And I always kind of get like, yo, man, he's your boy. So I'm like, nah, man, Fred is that guy. So I think let's talk about Fred's year, man. Cause I think Freddie Gibbs, even going back to last year, it'd be hard pressed to find a 2-album run. I mean, there are those that exist obviously, but man, that's a hell of a 2-album run.
I agree. I think you have Bandana, like you said last year, and just this one this year is just like Alfredo is incredible. I think Fred is rapping at a really, really high level. It's at the point where when he's rapping, I'm on the edge of my seat just anticipating what he's going to say next or how he's going to say it. Like he's at that level now, And so I'm just really happy that he's finally getting the recognition he deserves. I mean, I think the Grammy nominations definitely put the spotlight on him a little bit more. And it's funny because I remember talking to him throughout the year. That's all he kept talking about.
Yeah.
So I want a Grammy nomination. Like to him, the nomination's probably already a win. So I'm really happy for him, and I hope he does take it home.
Yeah, it was important to him last year too. I think that was a big reason why they did the album with the RCA last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he got snubbed last year, so this year it definitely felt like, okay, finally. I mean, yeah, in general, the Grammy nominations this year for Best Rap Album, if I had to put money on it,
yeah,
like my own money,
yeah,
I think Nas probably goes home with the trophy,
yeah,
and not because it's the better album,
right? I agree.
but it's just like Nas. How many times has Nas been nominated and he hasn't gotten a Grammy? I feel like they might.
Nas is the fucking Susan Lucci of rap. You know what I'm saying? Like he keeps getting nominated for different awards and he just never wins. So I think they'll give it to him this time around. But you know,
It's either going to be him or Alfredo. I don't think anybody else has a chance.
Yeah, surprises happen. I never forget when Drake and Justin Bieber were up for Best New Artist and Esmeralda Spalding won. I was like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, I still don't know who that is.
Exactly. So
You never
surprise.
know.
Yeah, I think even the last year they had a tie, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or was it the year before? It was a
I don't
tie for
remember.
best rap performance.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
things
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, I think Fred deserves to win it, and I think the betting favorite's got to be Nas though, just because it's like when Leo DiCaprio had all those Oscar nominations and they finally gave him one. You know what I'm saying? It's
Exactly.
and then another person who you had high on your list, who I think also doesn't get a lot of enough respect. He's around 10 on mine, but your list you had Russ really high. And I think Russ doesn't get enough love. He doesn't get enough respect. I also think, people it's kind of popular to just not like Russ, to dislike the guy.
It's hard being a white rapper these days.
Well, he's also really cocky and like I always say like Russ gives out so much free game that artists should like really listen to. You know what I'm saying?
Like I think. Okay, I'm sorry.
And I was gonna say like that's even if you take his music and his skill out of it, like he's really dropping like serious gems that any artist should listen to.
I agree. I think Russ is nice. If you're a rap fan and you don't like gravitate to Russ's lyrics, like I just can't really respect your opinion. I think a lot of people don't even give him a shot because
That's
if you
true.
listen to his rhymes, he's spitting his ass off. I think the Chomp EP was a great example of that.
Max.
And it's also the freestyles that he peppered throughout the year, specifically the Live from the Villa one,
Mm-hmm.
rap freestyle. Like how
Congrats freestyle is crazy.
how can you listen to that and not give him his props? So I think Russ, he does a lot of the pop records as well. So I think that gets overshadowed by the rap stuff.
Right.
But Russ is incredible. He could really rap his ass off, and he can hang with the best of them.
Who was somebody who you think was like knocking on your like top 10 that didn't necessarily make it?
This shit was hard. Like I was wrestling with this list for at least since like Thanksgiving.
It's rough.
It is hard, and plus I do it for 10 just to
Yeah.
to focus on that. But someone who I think could, like, if you did like 11 like honorable mentions, Larry June. I think
Okay.
and that Larry June project, it might make the list.
Hey, Larry June is crazy. He put a whole album out with Burner too. He had a crazy year.
Larry June, that Keep Going project is fire.
Yes.
James, The Price of Tea in China.
Kobe James had a crazy year.
Smoke DZA, his album fire. Like there's a lot of rappers that I personally like, but I can't necessarily put them on the best rapper list because I feel like they had the skill, but did they have the presence or did they have the performance on tracks? I'm trying to be objective and also subjective at the same time. So
now somebody who I didn't include in my top 10 list because technically his album came out in January or December of last year, and someone who I consider to have the best melodies in all of hip hop is Roddy Ricch.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people have been, and I don't disagree with anybody who thinks Roddy Ricch should be on that list. I think Roddy Ricch is one of the best song makers.
Right.
Period.
I agree. I think Roddy Ricch can rap. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying
He can. No, for sure.
But I also believe he's like a product of 2019 more so than 2020. And
His album lived a lot this year, man.
it did, but it came out last year,
Right.
That's just how I base it off. And also, when I think of best rappers, like for me, I don't put Roddy Ricch in that category. He's not a person that comes to mind. He can make a great song, but when I'm thinking like the best rappers, it's gonna make me go, ooh, nah. It's not necessarily Roddy Ricch.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of my 10.
Please.
I got Freddie Gibbs at 1.
Okay.
I got Conway at 2. So far we're 2 for 2 on our list.
All right, I'm with it.
Benny at 3.
Okay, we're 3 for 3.
Mozzie at 4. So
okay.
we got to start putting some respect on Mozzie's name, man.
I like Mozzie.
He put out 2 great albums this year.
I like Mozzie.
And he's like, to me, the one guy, obviously he's from Sacramento, but like when it comes to like the West Coast shit, like I feel like he is the guy who everybody respects who you'll meet as a rapper too. So I got Mozzie high on my list, man.
I'm not mad at that.
I got Big Sean at 5. I really enjoyed Detroit too. I really enjoyed his presence on a lot of other people's records. Obviously, Faux Things with Gibbs.
See, we have Big Sean both at 5 then.
Do we?
Yeah. I have Russ at 4. I have Big Sean at 5.
So things are gonna get real different then here. I got Royce the 5'9" at 6.
Okay.
And I don't think Royce made your list.
I was thinking about Royce too, but what prevented Royce from making the list is the fact that he put out, I liked Allegory, but I also think if it wasn't for the Grammys, that album would have been forgotten about. And after Allegory, I don't think he really did anything else throughout the year. He was kind of silent for the
Yeah, I mean, he was on Sean's album. I mean, he also, I mean, look, I also go back to the Eminem album. He gassed the M album. He produced on the M album.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Killer Mike at 7. Run the Jewels 4 is an incredible album to me. So I got Killer Mike at 7.
I'm at that. I think Ooh La La is one of the best rap songs of the year.
Walking on the Snow is the one for me, man. The one with Gangsta Boo on the hook. Another artist who's not on your list, I got Busta Rhymes at 8.
Really?
Yeah, man. I really love ELE too, man.
You like that album?
I really enjoyed it, bro.
I hated the album. Felt like homework when I listened.
You hated the album?
I hated it.
Really?
It was too long. And Busta, just to me, it just felt like it was moments where he was spin. I like the record with him and Rhapsody, but in totality, the album just felt like he was just yelling, and it felt like just, when you're in the club and when you're trying to enjoy yourself at the club, someone's like trying to pitch you.
Yes.
All right, I'll get to you later.
I gotta mixtape this out. Like, yeah. I really enjoyed the Busta album. I'm a lot higher on the Busta Rhymes album than you are. Then I really enjoyed it, man.
Wow. Okay.
I got Russ at 9.
Okay.
And then I got Lil Baby at 10.
Wow. Okay.
Lil Baby is an artist who I never ever thought would make this list in my entire life, based on like it being called the best rappers. But man, if he didn't have a hell of a year, and he also probably gets most improved of the year too, most improved player.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like Lil Baby, if we did a hottest MCs list, he'd probably be number 1, 2, and 3.
Hottest, yeah. I think it's like him, Pop Smoke, and probably Roddy Ricch, and then you probably fill in the Baby and who am I forgetting that would be in that?
I think Megan would make that list if we did.
Megan, maybe Uzi.
Yeah,
Uzi. Yeah.
Like that's a hot artist, but
that's the hottest list, which we used to get pissed off about when MTV would do.
Yes.
But it's a different conversation.
Right.
Yeah, you was on that panel.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I remember voting for Drake, and they voted for Kanye, but that was then. That was like 4 years ago.
Yeah. So some of my honorable mentions are Boldy James.
Okay. Boldy's nice.
Yeah, he had a crazy year. I also, of course, West Side Gun. I think we have to just salute his body of work for the year.
Pray for Paris that's on the list. I'll give you a sneak.
It's on my list too.
On the list.
Yeah, it's pretty high on my list. Also, I gotta show some love to Eminem. I actually thought Eminem's album was his best album in like 10 years.
I really liked Recovery. I liked Recovery a lot.
Yeah, but Recovery was 2000 and that was the one with like where he was like walking down the road and shit. That was like 2010.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was 2010, and since Recovery, really, it's been a whole lot of bullshit.
Shout out to Eminem. Shout out to Paul Rosenberg.
No, I love Eminem. He's one of my favorite rappers ever, and I feel like with this album, I finally was like, yes, this is the Eminem album that I've just wanted him to make. All the features, they didn't sound forced.
It was a step in the right direction. The intro, I remember listening to that. I thought that was crazy. So Eminem, that was definitely, I think, to your point, was probably his best album in a while.
He toned down the like forced ballads with Skylar Grey and Pink and Rihanna and whoever the hell it was just
like Skylar Grey?
Bro, when the track listing came out and I saw her name on the track listing, I lost my fucking mind. I was like, guys, will someone tell Eminem to stop putting this fucking girl on records?
Yo, man. Too hard. Oh man, let's get me a phone call right now. Bad timing. Sorry about
I
that.
haven't listened to the B-side that came out at 9 o'clock last night, but nonetheless, yeah, I did think, you got to throw Eminem in the honorable mention, Nas in the honorable mention, Jay Elect in the honorable mention. Hove kind of washed him on that album, but shout out to Jay Electronica. But yeah, how about this for the year? Do you think this was like? I feel like this is one of the best years in recent memory as far as like just the quality of music we got.
Oh, absolutely. I think there was a lot of great moments, a lot of great music that came out. And a lot of it probably just didn't get the exposure it deserved. But if you were a rap fan, you know where to find the good shit, man. Like there was great music all around the board.
For sure. All right. So look, your albums of the year list, it should be out by now.
Yeah, I'm about to put it out maybe like in a few hours.
Well, so this is going to come out Monday.
Okay.
So this will already have been out. So let's go over. I'm going to run through my list and you go through your list.
I bet.
All right. I got Alfredo as number 1.
Me too.
I got RTJ4 as 2. I got Pray for Paris at 3.
Wow. Okay. Wow. This is different than mine.
I got From a King to a God at 4.
Okay.
Burden of Proof at 5. Blast, No Love Lost.
But see, it's Blast. He's like R&B though.
Yeah, you know what? All right, I'll tell you what. He's just one of my favorite albums of the year. So we're talking rap albums. We can move him over. So what was that? That was 6. So then I got Detroit 2 at 6.
Okay. I got Detroit 2 at 6 too. You and I both have the same sentiments about Big Sean.
Love that album, man. Love that fucking album. I got My Turn at 7.
Me too.
So since I bumped something out, okay, where are we at?
This shit is hard, man. I'm still wrestling with my list, if you want to be honest.
I got at 8 The Allegory from Royce.
Okay.
I really enjoyed that album. At 9, King's Disease.
Wow. Nazi.
You're
a Nazi, man.
Why you have a higher?
Hell yeah, I have it way higher.
Hey man, I love the album. Nas is my favorite rapper ever.
Right.
So like, trust me, like I love Nas. You know what I'm saying? I didn't listen to Jay-Z for like 12 months of my childhood because of the beef.
Because of the beef?
Yeah. And then like, well, since we kind of bumped some shit out, I think 10, I have some honorable mentions that I have to slide in, but I kind of got my honorable mentions as Savage Mode 2,
right.
Meet the Woo 2. And I really, an album that I don't think a lot of people talk about that was really, really solid. I just have as an honorable mention that I think people should at least, tip their hat to is Amine's album, Limbo, was really good.
Someone else told me about Amine's album.
Amine's album is fucking fire, man.
Yeah, I had to do a deep dive on Amine.
Yeah, honestly, like his album was like, I was driving back from San Diego and I just hit play on that bitch and I was like, damn, this shit is solid. Like no skips.
Yeah.
What do you got?
So for me, again, this is still tentative. It's written in pencil.
Okay, pencils. Shout out to pencils in 2020.
So I got number 1, Freddie Gibbs, Alfredo. Number 2, Conway the Machine, From King to a God. 3, Stove God Cooks.
Ooh.
Stove God Cooks, Reasonable Drought. Number 4, Benny the Butcher, Burden of Proof. 5, Nas, King Disease. 6, Big Sean, Detroit 2. 7, Little Baby, My Turn. 8, Pray for Paris. Now 9 to 10 is where it's getting kind of hard for me.
Certainly.
It's getting very hard. And as of right now, it says Larry June, Keep Going. Number 10, Jack Harlow. That's what they all say.
You know what's crazy is I wrote this list last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about this list last week in Cancun when I was in Cancun bumping his album on the beach.
Yeah.
And you're right about Jack Harlow. I think, because you know how I said my 10 spot was kind of a floater. Like, I think I might have to slide Jack Harlow into that 10 spot, man.
I'm not mad. Like, I didn't know what to think going into it, but I'm listening to it. I'm at like track 13. I'm like, wait, I didn't even skip anything. Like, what the fuck?
There's no skips. It's a very easy listen. He's saying some fly shit. He could rap.
Yeah.
Great production.
Like, it feels like DJ Drama and Cannon, like, were involved. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they let him out to do what he wanted. Like I felt like it was really A&R, that produced well. I'm not mad at that Jack Harlow album. Like I think
that Jack Harlow album is solid.
it's really good. So,
Yeah, man. I think that might be my 10. But like I've totally forgot about that album because it obviously just came out. So when I put this list in, it just came out last week. Yeah, Jack Harlow.
I heard it. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like this guy he's spitting. So
somebody else you mentioned that is from over here, and by over here I mean the West Coast, is Larry June, and I feel like it's dope to see. We always hear that you guys over in New York are a little biased.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, but Larry June has had a hell of a career. You know what I'm saying? Building up his fan base, and I feel like it's dope to see him get some real respect.
Yeah, I've got hit to Larry June this year, and then like a lot of people that I respect as far outside of music, they talk about like, yo, listen to this Larry June guy. He's talking about finances and like real life shit and like leveling up.
Yeah,
good and organic. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give this guy a shot.
Right.
So I'm listening to them. I'm like, yo, this guy is like picking up where Jeezy left off as far as thug motivation. Like really inspiring. He's motivating. He's telling you how to get money and just stop chasing women and things that I think that are really important for, consumers' ears in 2020. So when I heard his album with Harry Fraud, Keep Going, I'm like, oh, this shit is hard, man. Like,
definitely. Shout out to Larry June, man.
Yes.
Hey, so let me ask you this, man. You did your one more thing I gotta ask. How did Lil Wayne get on your list this year?
You don't think Lil Wayne was spitting?
I don't know. I mean, his Timeless feature was solid. You had it. You were a lot stronger on that than probably anyone.
That time, I heard. I was like, yo, Wade is going fucking Super Saiyan on this.
I just can't think of the Lil Wayne song that I was like.
I wouldn't say necessarily it's defined by a song per se. But
I just can't think of the project. I was like, yo, let me go listen to Funeral or let me go listen to fucking No Ceilings 3.
I think he was spitting on Funeral. I think he was spitting on No Ceilings 3 as well. And also like the feature on Jack Harlow. I think what's the other joint that he did? The Timeless feature. I feel like Wayne can still rap at a high level. Now, will I say The Funeral was one of the best albums of the year? No. But I just thought you had him kind of high, man. Kind of high. Would have been number 9. Wayne would have been number 10 if it wasn't for Stove God Cook.
He should have been like 15.
Nah, Wayne would have been really low.
Everyone thinks I hate Lil Wayne already, by the way. I'm a huge Lil Wayne fan.
Biased.
I'm not biased. I love Lil Wayne. Everyone thinks I hate him because I'm very critical of Lil Wayne. Because I'm like, I think Wayne is incredible. One of the greatest of all time, right? I probably don't have him ranked as high as most, but I just feel like after Carter 3, he's after really the first No Ceilings, because it was Carter 3, then the first No Ceilings. He's just kind of left me a little empty as a fan, where I've just been like wanting more, if that makes sense. Carter 4 was a little disappointing. It had some great singles. Carter 5 was a lot. It was just a lot. I still can't even think of the Carter 5. Like I've listened to it maybe twice through, and that's it. But I saw Wayne on your list kind of high, and I was like,
He was number 9, and I think that was a fair. I feel like it feels like the old man still's got it, like he's still rap. So that's why I had him at that place.
Yeah, I think if you're putting Wayne on that list, you got to put M on that list.
You think so?
I think M's album was very listenable, man.
I think M's. Like if I did like a top 20, it'll be a little bit more room.
That's fair.
I wanted to focus.
It'd be a lot more room to not offend people.
Exactly, and
which rapper got the most offended by your list?
It was either Russ and Stove God Cooks.
They were offended?
Oh no, are you talking about?
No. I know people hated the fact you put Russ on your list. I'm talking about like there was a lot of people who were commenting on this shit.
Right.
Was there someone in particular that kind of caught feelings that you were like, I mean, Yeah,
I wouldn't say he caught feelings, but he was bothered by his exclusion or omission, which was Ransom. And I was surprised.
Yo, another honorable mention. Ransom had a good year.
But that's the thing is like, and no disrespect to Ransom, but I just didn't know. And I know a lot of rap fans. I know a lot of people. No one throughout this year had said, yo, you need to check this Ransom project. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lot of times you gotta look at yourself. Like, yo, am I doing enough to create awareness?
Right.
And I always say this too. Sometimes it's harder to create the interest than the actual music. So if there's no interest there, who the fuck is going to check for it? And I'm sure Ransom is spitting his ass off, but it's like, dog, if I'm making the best rap list, right? And my criteria is based on skill, which I'm sure Ransom has.
Of course.
On a track, and also presence. I think he lacks a lot in that department. So.
That's fair. Yeah, I think it's funny because I really wasn't hip to the year he was having until I heard like Maul or somebody on the Joe Budden podcast say like, "Yo, he might be the MVP of the year." I was like, "Yo, let me go listen to what he's been doing." Right. And he's definitely had a very productive year. But yeah, I definitely can see how people who saw that list, the first person that they probably would be like, "What the fuck, Russ at 4?"
But that's the thing is like, I'm like, are you listening to what this man?
They're not.
They're not.
They're not.
And it bugged me out when I went to the clubhouse room and people were debating on the list. And they're asking like Russ, like he's a fucking alien. I'm like, dog, you guys work in the music business.
Like you guys act like you don't know who the fuck this guy is. He's got more plaques than your favorite rapper or whoever you're managing.
Like this guy is super relevant. Like he's been consistent. He's dropping music. He's been dropping music this whole year.
Dude, it's crazy.
Like, come on, man. You got to put some respect on Russ's name.
And he was about to take Benny on an arena tour.
That's what I'm saying. Come on, man.
Like it's crazy. What's been your favorite moment of the year, hip hop wise? Because there's been a lot with verses and obviously some certain projects, but you know, I'll give you mine. Mine is I really enjoyed the Gucci Jeezy verses. I thought that was like crazy. Couldn't believe it was happening. What about yours?
My favorite rap moment this year, verses definitely is up there. I think what else happened this year? Shit, you put me on the spot, Kev. Now I'm drawing a blank. Shit, before the world went to an end, the Rock Nation brunch, I guess if that counts, that was
I'm not invited to such things, so.
No, it was for me because it's like, you know, it's like the hip hop prom, right? Mm-hmm. So I remember Conway was there and he was dressed up and Rihanna was there. I was like, yo, I'm gonna introduce you to Rihanna. He's like, word. So just like trying to coordinate that together, that was really hard for me. What's another good hip hop moment? I'm drawing a blank right now. This is gonna question that I'm gonna think about after I hang up, and I'm like,
and be like, shit, I forgot. Yeah, for me, it's definitely the verses, and then just like on a personal level, I got to see, I went to the Griselda shows here in LA right before the pandemic happened, and Conway performing The Cow, crying and shit while Hov was standing on the side of the stage was crazy to witness.
Right. I always love it when he performs that song. So I miss shows, man. Shit, remember shows?
I know. Yo, if you want to go to Atlanta or South Carolina or wherever down there, all those red states, man, they're still happening. I promise. Did you see the NBA YoungBoy show that happened like last week?
Yo, what pandemic? They got the cure down there, man.
Bro, it's crazy. I'm like, that happened yesterday?
When this shit is over, man, I am not missing out on nothing. I'm going to every listening, every concert. If it happens in the basement, I want in. I'm not missing anything.
Hey, I think if South by ever comes back, it's finna go up again like it used to.
I hope so, man. I feel like everybody wants to experience live events again.
So we're breaking down this video. We're not breaking it down. We're taking a break in the video to tell you all about our sponsors, Odd Socks. All right, listen, man, oddsocksofficial.com. What the fuck was that, bro? It was like a fucking Pomeranian hair floating in the air. Anyway, oddsocksofficial.com. Keyword Bootleg Kev. Go over there, get you some socks, and you'll save 20% off if you use that keyword. They got South Park license. They got some Ghostbusters, Pimp C, Mike Tyson. Really, the one that I really care about is they got that WWE license, so you can get these awesome NWO socks. And then they got their Odd Socks Basics. For all the basic bitches, get you some basic socks, even though they are very comfortable. They're probably the most comfortable socks. Actually, not probably, definitively the most comfortable socks I've ever put on my feet. Yes, all right? And that goes for all types of socks. So go to oddsocksofficial.com, get some socks. By the way, SpongeBob socks, they're kind of fly, right? Christmas time's on the way. Use the keyword Bootleg Kev, 20% off, oddsocksofficial.com. Support us by supporting Odd Socks. Let's go. So someone who neither of us mentioned, who we just talked about, Rand, like real quick, who I think a lot of younger people would take offense to us not saying his name for whatever reason. I don't got him on my list. You don't got him on, but NBA YoungBoy.
Yeah. I don't think he's like the best. Like when I think of the best rapper, I don't think NBA YoungBoy comes to mind. I listened to his album. And I know
I think he dropped like 4 projects this year, some insane amount.
I listened to the last one, and
he's doing the numbers.
he's doing. I don't care about the numbers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that tells a story. I don't think it tells the whole story. He's super popular, like you said, on YouTube, but I just don't. I wasn't blown away by anything that he said. There wasn't nothing that was like, yo, guys. Like, let me press the rewind button. I didn't get that from.
Yeah, I enjoy some of his shit because obviously, like, I'm a club DJ, so there's certain shit that like I'm like, yo, this shit goes up. But like, as far as like this year, I haven't heard some NBA YoungBoy shit that like was like, damn, that shit was hard. Like, it's just maybe it's just not for me. Some of this shit I've realized. By the way, I still haven't listened to Uzi's album, so I let my son tell me about it. I'm just like, yo, I already, I've kind of just, maybe that's bad on my behalf. Like I probably should tap in with. I've heard a lot of it, that I've like, that I've listened to, but I haven't like sat down and pressed play and just let it ride.
Yeah.
And I know.
Like, you gotta kind of know what you're getting into when you listen to the Uzi album. Like it's like the thing is Uzi can rap well, but I don't think he showcases it that much on his albums. On the Future project that he did, he had that song called Lullaby. Mm-hmm. I felt like he really went in like, okay, give me more of this, Uzi. But he's more like vibes and things like that. But I wouldn't put Uzi on my best rapper list. Nah, I couldn't do that.
Real quick, it's crazy because the most memorable verses that I can think of this year, when I say verses, I don't mean the battle, but like people's verses. They're free. Like to me, that the one that, now mind you, I really have to sit down and think about this. Mm-hmm. But I think of Conway, Fire in the Booth.
That's, you know what, when you asked me about moment, that's what I wanted to say. Conway's freestyle on Charlie Slaw.
Wow.
Bruh.
I watch that once a week.
I do too. I also watched your joint with Freddie Gibbs when you did last year.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Funny story about that is Fred came to the studio and was like we were doing an interview, and then I was like, yo, you got to rap, right? And he literally wrote that shit in like 5 minutes and then nailed it. Yeah, like he was like, yo, pick a beat. So we picked the Drake Money in the Grave, and then he was like, just let me chill in here for 5 minutes and just come up with something. And then he was like, come back in, and then he laid it down.
No shit.
Yeah. Wow. He didn't come to the station that day with the expectations to rap, and then he laid down some crazy shit.
That's amazing. Fred's a fucking mutant. Like I thought that was like prepared in advance.
Nah, bro. Yeah, no, Fred's a fucking alien, bro. Wow. And then obviously, he did the LA Leakers freestyle last year, which was fucking crazy. He had his baby on his
once a week,
bro.
Like, that would be an actual remix with him and Dom Kennedy.
Another verse that like it also is a LA Leakers verse this year. And that's the Simba freestyle, man.
Yo, get out of my head, Kev. Yo, I was just about to say, Kev, Simba is going to be a problem. Like, if I had to do an honorable mention, best rap, he's on that list. Whoo.
Simba is amazing. That freestyle, was fucking crazy.
Simba is nice.
So many, and just the confidence and just the delivery of those lines and that freestyle were so like. And mind you, he's a really good friend of mine, like really good close. Like he was on our show like 3 years ago. Like to give you some insight, like I've been known Simba for a while, and man, his project is. It's crazy because his project didn't come out the way it was supposed to come out. So like 2 weeks ago, they were playing me some like a lot of the songs were on there, right? But like there's a song called West Side Griselda that was supposed to be on the album with him and Jason Cash that because of samples didn't work out. But yeah, Simba's crazy.
He's incredible. Like I'm interested to see what he's gonna do in 2021. Like he's the kind of I like rappers like that. It's like when I listen to them, it makes me want to quit rapping, and I can't even rap.
Right? Like what am I doing this for?
It's like fuck. Let me start from scratch. Like. He's a rapper's rap. He's dope, man. Like I want to get more in tune to what he's got going on in 2021.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a crazy year. And then I think the Congrats Russ freestyle was probably up there as well. I think, and it's crazy because those are the three that just come to my head, and I'm not saying that there aren't better verses, but it's like all three of those verses are all from freestyles technically.
Yeah, absolutely. The Congrats joint from Russ is really dope. I listen to that probably like once a week as well. I
Loved
think
Absol's verse on. You didn't put Absol's verse on your
it
features.
was hard.
I
That's
love
the thing too. I wanted to pick one from each
each part.
album.
That's
You know,
fair.
I want to put multiple, but it could have easily went Absol. I went with the Crooked Eye because he set the tone, and I
Yeah.
just think Crooked Eye just went ape shit on that on Stockholm Syndrome. But I like Freddie Gibbs, man. Freddie Gibbs on 500 ounces on West Side Guns album.
Was the one where he had the line about take a load off this low management, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That shit was crazy.
Like Marcy and West Side. I love that beat. Alchemist is a fucking fool. He killed that joint. I love Conway, Conway and Freddie are like Ken and Ryu. Like I'm on the edge of my seat anytime he's rapping.
Yeah, Conway is my he's my favorite. Like when it comes to just like his versatility to be able to like just kill you with some crazy bars or just give you like the most relatable verse about some crazy traumatic shit. He's like, man, I know he's not like the most like, Benny's the guy right now writing Griselda, but I think Conway's like he's like the people's champ, if that makes sense.
He's right there. And man, if he played me a record, Conway, I'm telling you now on your show, Kev, he's sitting on a hit.
He played me his entire Shady album, so I might have heard it.
Maybe.
How long ago did he play for you?
A couple weeks ago.
Okay. He might be something new, yeah, because he was up here in probably October, September, and he played me like, this was before his album dropped, so it was like a couple weeks prior. But then he played me the whole Shady Records debut.
Yeah, that's the same one I heard. He has a record. I said it on live, so it's not a secret or anything like that. He has a record produced by Hitmaker and produced by Hitmaker.
I heard
Teflon Don.
Oh, he played me some other shit that was I want to say Jeremiah was on the hook or something, and he was like,
I heard that.
He was like, I don't think we can get this one cleared though.
Yeah. I heard that's a monster, but this one I'm talking about.
I didn't hear the stuff on Don record, but it's crazy because we did talk about a lot of the records, like because we did like an hour-long interview, and I was just talking about both albums he had just played me. Neither was out, so yeah, he's got some big features, and I'm excited for him, man. Shout out to Conway. I think Griselda's gonna have Benny's got 2 records with Drake tucked.
Man, I heard those, but you know what it is about this year too? I love what Benny, the whole Griselda movement, Russ, and Freddie have been doing this year. It's like they're stockpiling this ammunition. Mm-hmm. A lot of these rappers took a break this year, man, but these guys have been consistently working. And I feel like 2021, once we get through this pandemic, is going to be a big breakout year for those guys because of the music that they have been putting out.
Do you think also like this is what I told Fred and Benny? I was like, what's dope about 2020? Obviously, it sucks you can't hit the road, but people are listening to music differently. They're listening to it in their headphones. They're listening to it in their car because they're driving Uber all day. Mm-hmm. They're not standing on couches.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so I feel like this year was a special moment to like really like say something in your music.
Absolutely. I feel like, people feel like rap music only exists in the nightclub or in a lounge.
Mm-hmm.
Places where I'm not listening to the turn up joint when I'm cleaning my house or I'm in my car. I just want to listen to some really good rap music with meaningful lyrics or just something entertaining. Mm-hmm. And I feel like those guys have been doing that throughout this whole year. So, like you said, people are listening a little bit differently. I'm not mad at that. Like let's get back to the lyrics, and we can still have fun. We can still sing Throat Baby, but
shout out to Throat Baby. Yeah. Let me ask you this. What do you guys have like 20? What's your 2021 looking like right now?
Man, I don't fucking know, Kev. I mean, I thought 2020 was going to be the year, So
of course, we all did.
You
remember how we thought 2019 was such a shitty year, and everybody was posting the memes about, man, 2019, get it the fuck up out of here.
Yeah. 2019 was fantastic, dude. I was like, yo, it's going to get great. It's going to be better for 2020. And then March, the world went to shit. So, like I said, you plan and God laughs, but hopefully, 2021, we get the Rap Radar podcast out of our hiatus stage and we will be back with some new interviews and new conversations and just new opportunities. Talking to artists and traveling across the country and getting these interviews popping. So
When you guys, because I do think the Rap Radar podcast, as far as just raw interviews, right? I feel like you guys do the best interviews.
Thank you, Kev. I appreciate that.
I really mean that.
Thank you, man.
And that's with me having to get through Elliot's laugh whenever it happens, Shout out to Elliot, the GOAT. But I do think like you guys, like legit, if we're like just pound for pound, who's doing like the best interviews, I feel like it's you guys, especially from like, for like a fan. Like, I feel like you guys will ask questions because you're fans and you'll ask those like kind of little like super niche off the road questions that only like maybe like the core hardcore guys will like tap. That's what I appreciated about that Drake interview is you guys kind of touched on a lot of shit that like nobody else would have talked about in a Drake interview.
Yeah, man. Like I think that's the thing too. Like you can attest to this. At the end of the day, you got to be a fan of the music. And I think that enthusiasm comes across in our conversation. So I love it, man, and I appreciate the kind words because we dedicate a lot of man hours into preparing for these interviews and things like that. So.
Right, yeah, and like you said, I mean, there's always the people you interview that you're not fans of, which they're always they're just going to be different conversations.
Absolutely, and sometimes you become a fan of the person that you weren't a fan of prior to. So, it's just humanizing an artist and getting to know them a little bit better. So.
That's fair, man. Anything, obviously Rap Radar is still ticking. The blog era is, let me ask you this, because you guys have one of the biggest blogs ever. By the way, shout out to you and Amaya and everybody at Rap Radar who always would support anything I was doing. But you guys were one of the gatekeepers, right?
Yep, I guess I say that. For
like 8 or 9 years. Yeah. You guys could change someone's career.
We had a hand in a few.
Hey, by the way, it's crazy because I just tapped in with 360 again recently. So I know you were involved. I remember finding him on Rap Radar. Yeah. But where it like we always hear that the blog era is dead, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree, but like obviously Rap Radar is still a website. You guys still post shit like.
Yeah, it's still around. Shout out to Paul, aka the big homie. He kind of keeps us afloat, and as far as that goes, it's still. I think that's the beauty of what the website still provides. Is like a lot of these domains have expired or they no longer exist, and the archives are gone. But our website's still up. The archives are still there, so you could kind of go back and check a post from 2009 or 2006. Mm-hmm. It's still there, and I feel like that's good. It's not what it once was, but we still have a presence, and I think that's important.
And you guys pivoted, unlike a lot of other people in that space.
Yeah, I realized where the game was kind of going, more towards conversations and things. And shout out to Combat Jack, rest in peace, Combat Jack.
R.I.P.
Juan Epstein, they were doing it. And I said, "Tell us, I think we could do this too."
Mm-hmm.
So we just wanted to keep the brand. We could have named it anything. I was like, let's just keep it for brand recognition, the Rap Radar podcast. And then 5 years later, here we are.
What about you? What are some podcasts that you actually like listen to on a regular basis?
I listen to a little. I try to listen to a little bit of everybody. I listen to yours as well. Shameless plug. I listen to Lip Service, Joe Budden whenever I can. That's just like a fucking movie.
Yeah, the Joe Budden shit. It's like, okay, am I going on a road trip?
Yeah, Joe's great for a good road trip. I listen to Alec Baldwin. He has his podcast called Here's the Thing.
Okay.
So I just try to listen to whenever I can. I watch a lot of clips.
The clips are clutch for me.
Yeah.
Especially for the Joe Budden shit. Because I'll be like, oh, cool. I could just hear them talk about this album that came out and see what they think. Right. So I don't have to sit through 4 hours.
Varies. Listen to Charlemagne and
of course.
It's so my taste varies.
Yeah, 100%, man. Well, look, I appreciate you for checking in. And yeah, I was like, yo, we gotta do a year-end podcast. It's like there's only really one person I want to talk to about this year. Before I let you go, though, I'm curious, knowing the narrative about the East Coast bias.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but this is what I'm asking you, right? Okay. Can you kind of give me maybe 4 or 5 artists. Now we already talked about Larry June, so that's one.
Right.
From this side, from the West Coast, from the state of California, it could be LA, the Bay, wherever, who are really on your radar, so to speak.
Yeah, I
that you're
mean,
fucking with.
LA. I mean, what I say, LA. The West Coast got some really good talent. I mean, outside of the TDE camp, that's off bat.
Of course.
But I do like, Reason. He could spit his ass off.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Larry June. Definitely a tap of Mozzie. Who else am I fucking with? I feel like I'm missing some folks. I know I am, but I'm gonna kick myself afterwards.
Hey, D Smoke's project was solid too, man. I mean, he got money for a Grammy.
D Smoke, he gets busy as well. But those are the ones right now that stick out in my mind a lot.
Simba, we talked about Simba. He's from the Bay.
Simba, I think he's holding it down, man. Like he has potential to really be something, going into 2021. So I'm looking forward.
I'm trying to think. Oh, okay. I got to put you on to some LA guys.
Please.
There's a dude named Nana from out here.
Nana.
He's fire.
Nana?
Yes. If you just go on YouTube, type in, he's got a song with Reason.
Mm-hmm.
He's crazy. There's another dude named Katori Walker. That's super dope. He put a project out called Idols this year.
Write this down. And
then I think this coming year, you'll really definitely, Jason Cash will be a factor out of LA. He's signed with Dallas and he's, him and Simba are real close. So, but yeah, Katori Walker, Nana, those would be the two or three, Jason Cash, but check out the Nana project. That shit is special.
I'm definitely going to be tapped in. Thank you, Kev. Appreciate it.
All good. Thank you for your time, bro. And I look forward to seeing you break the internet again with this albums list.
Trust me, I think they're going to fry me to the stake, man. So.
No, I think we had a solid list. And I'm glad you're as high on Big Sean as I was, too.
Big Sean actually hit me about the list, too. He was like, number 5. Every time I read Big Sean's messages, I hear his voice. Right. So he's like, number 5. What about this verse? And I'm like, Sean, you nice. So
dog, Detroit 2 is crazy. I think it's his best project too. I actually think it's better than the first Detroit. And I always kind of had that as his. It was like that or Dark Sky Paradise.
Yeah, Big Sean's nice, man. Like you gotta put some respect on Big Sean.
Yeah, listen, I always say when we talk about there's the Mount Rushmore and it's always Drake, Cole, Kendrick, and then. I guess you probably would put Travis up there for the last 3 or 4 years.
That's a conversation, man.
Right. And if we're and that's excluding the like Kanye and Hoves.
Right.
Sean is like the leader of that next tier, right?
Here's a hot take. I feel like if if Travis Scott had if he was a lyrically more inclined rapper, a la Drake, Kendrick, Cole's, he would be at that table. But as far as his notoriety and celebrity and artistry, I would definitely say he's there as well.
I feel like he's the only person that I've thought had more, peak Kanye was like the coolest dude in the world. Like everyone dressed like Kanye. I feel like Travis Scott, for lack of better terms, first of all, he makes great music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you said, like lyrically, there's better rappers for sure, right?
Right.
But he makes amazing music. And I'm not sure anyone's ever had the kids in his back pocket like he has ever in hip hop.
Travis he's a fucking cash cow. He's different right now. Like he's got the ear of the 18 to 25-year-old. That's a fact. So
hey, the last thing we're gonna leave with, I had an argument maybe 2 days ago with somebody. I just need you to let me know if you agree or disagree. I said to somebody that nobody in the history of hip hop was ever bigger at their peak. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about over their span of their career or 10-year run. I'm talking about peak.
Okay.
Than 50 Cent and Snoop Dogg.
I think I agree with that. Because before you even said that, I was thinking of the artist in my head. I was like, you better say 50 Cent. Yeah, 50 Cent.
50 and Snoop. Doggy Style era Snoop. That like whatever year and a half when he had his murder charge. And then 50 Cent. We haven't seen anything like that as far as peak.
Peak? Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that's a fact.
Well,
it's beautiful.
Hey man, me and you are like fucking. Our lists are definitely. There's a few disconnects, but I think we're pretty. we're pretty fucking spot on with a lot of opinions here.
It's true. I think if you're a rap fan, there was when 50 Cent peak like 2003. Oh my gosh, like
Oh my God.
50
Like,
Cent was,
what the fuck?
he was Thanos at that time, man.
Yo, it's crazy.
And
Yo,
people might be too young for Snoop Dogg, but when Snoop Doggy Style, 1993, like, come on, man, you just had to be there.
you had to be there. And I was there, but I was like 7. You know what I'm saying? But I remember it. Yeah.
I remember it too.
Yo, B.Dot, thank you for checking in, man. Appreciate your time and look forward to what you guys got coming for the new year, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.